Hi, folks. It's Thursday, September 3rd, and this is Dr. G's Gender Forecast. Here's what we're up to in class today. We have, just two things on the agenda. That's a typo. Okay, so in task one, we read Simmons and White's chapter called Our Many Selves. And it helps flesh out the conversation that we had when we read the gender book. And I think that the reading that you did provided a pretty decent job of the, really expansive genders that are out there. Most of us, obviously, can grasp the concept of men and women because those tend to be the most common genders. But there are definitely more genders out there. And I think that we can always learn more about those genders, especially because, all of us really experience gender in ways that are not monolithic. So, in that spirit, what I want us to do is to choose one of the genders in this list, and you are more than welcome to add a gender. I realize that genders are expansive, and my list might not be complete. I'll be honest and say I completed this list during the summer when I was tired. So, if there's a gender that I have not added to that list, just message me in Slack, be like, hey, I'm gonna do this one. And I'll be like, sounds great. So, anyway, choose one of those genders and then find a video that explains or describes that gender or the experience of that gender, obviously knowing that no single story is going to be the only story. You're going to watch that video. You're going to share a link to that video on Tumblr. And as you're sharing that link to Tumblr, you're going to compose a 2 to 3 sentence synopsis about what you learned in that video. And so that we can find your blog entry, I want you to include the following tasks, not tasks, the following tags that I've just highlighted right there. All right? So in task 2, you are going to use those tags to identify your peers' posts. Now remember what I said on Tuesday, that some of us might not have had our blogs authenticated yet because they're new. So it's not a bad idea to have open that same course document that has our blog roles so that we can click on those to access our peers' posts, okay? And so you're going to read your peers' responses and view at least 2 of your peers' videos and just offer a brief comment that talks about one new thing that you learned thanks to the video that they shared. Okay, so the last thing here you see is optional. This is potentially task 3. So for homework, I asked y'all if you had questions about anything that you read in the Simmons and White reading or in the Rife Hill and Mays reading, to just kind of say, hey, I have some additional Trans 101 questions. We're not done with this section, but I just wanted to see, hey, do you have some questions about things? So I have read your survey questions, and I'm going to hop on Zoom, and I invite you to join me. I'm going to do this at 4:30 p.m. And I'm just going to briefly discuss my answers to y'all's survey questions. You can certainly, there's going to be a hyperlink right here, so you can, just click on the hyperlink and, join Zoom that way, or you could be old school and type in my meeting ID and password and join in. But I want to emphasize that you do not have to join our Zoom conversation. I get it that not a lot of people want to be on video. I don't always want to be on video, okay? So just keep in mind that this is optional, and I'm going to record the session to answer those questions. And so, you can watch it later if that is what you would prefer, and that is I totally get it. Okay, so no pressure. For homework, I want you to read Johnson's Privilege, Oppression, and Difference. It's really important that we understand how to talk about the complexity of people's identities and have some sort of language for doing that. If you are interested, there is a copy of the reading with my notes, and then I just sort of list right here some of the major points that Johnson discusses. And then I want you to complete one of the following blog prompts. Okay, so there's option 1 right here, and there's option 2 right here, right? So they're both two different ways that you can respond to the Johnson reading by completing a Tumblr post and sharing that online. That's your homework, okay? So let's have a good day in class. I will see you in Tumblr. I will see you in Slack, and maybe I'll see you on Zoom.